Hello guys, hi. This is Elise, and today my brother Damien, or Damien in English, will be joining us because I will show you some French traditional pastries, delicacies, and he will be eating them.
Yes, I enjoy to be that.
Yes. So yes. So the thing is, he can speak English. He doesn't speak fluent English, but he will try for these videos to say some things in English, and he can also speak French, of course, if he wants to. And for those who like mouth sounds, well, maybe I hope that you will be pleased with this video. So the first pastry we're going to talk about is the croissant.
Oh, the croissant.
So this is a classic, right? Like
delicious. Seems delicious.
And guess what? It was actually not created in France. It was originally created in 1683 in Vienna, and at the time the Ottoman Empire was besieging the city, and on one night they decided to attack Vienna, and there was a baker named Adam Spiel who was awake before dawn, because as you know, bakers have to wake up earlier than other people so they can like bake everything. He woke up before dawn and gave the alert, and the city was eventually saved. So they managed to prevent the assault thanks to that baker, and legends say that to immortalize the victory, the bakers of the city invented a pastry called the Hörnchen, which means little horn in German, because its shape was similar to the Ottoman flag. And well, it was introduced in France thanks to Marie Antoinette, who was born an Archduchess of Austria from Vienna, and so she introduced the pastry to Paris and made it quite famous. But yes, in the 18th century, the croissant was still made out of bread dough, and we have to wait until the 1920s for Parisian bakers to replace the bread dough with puff pastry and butter. So yeah, Damien, if you will do me the honor of eating this
With
nice
pleasure.
croissant, Loa, this is
pleasure.
ASMR.
Sorry. Delicious.
Is it? Okay, so while he is eating his croissant, we will continue with another pastry, which is called l'Eclair. I don't know if you can see. So, this delicacy is made of choux pastry, and it is stuffed with pastry cream, or crème pâtissière in French. In the classic recipe, it is usually vanilla flavored or chocolate or coffee flavored. I think this one is actually caramel flavored, and as you can see on the top, it is iced, or glazed with melted sugar. L'éclair in English means lightning or flash. So why do you think it is called this way? So actually, it wasn't called Eclair from the start. Before 1850, this pastry was called pain à la duchesse, which in English means the Duchess bread, right? So it was pretty similar to that, except it was rolled up in almonds. And it was actually the French chef Antonin Carême who decided to modernize the little Duchess breads. He decided to get rid of the almonds, to stuff it with pastry or jam and glaze it in melting sugar. So Damien will now...
No, I eat that éclair.
Tu peux juste le manger sans la cuillère.
Ah. Astonishing. It's coffee.
Oh, it's coffee flavored actually. So legend has it that the success of the little Duchess bread was so quick and sudden that it spread throughout France with, lightning speed, which is why some think that the pastry Eclair is named Eclair because of that. But we actually have to wait 20 years after Carême's death for it to be called Eclair. And it was first called Eclair, so lightning, in 1850 in Lyon, and it became internationally known thanks to King Edward VII of England, who was crazy for them. Some people think it was called Eclair because of an inside joke between bakers who said the cake was so good that they would eat it all at once with lightning speed, and other think it is because of its glaze, which is as bright as lightning. So yeah, we'll basically never know the truth. Okay, so we will continue with another pastry called la Madeleine. Okay, so you can just eat one if you want. Okay, so this is a traditional cake from the Lorraine region, which is where we both live and come from. And these are sponge cake in the shape of a shell, and a Genoise cake batter is used, which is why it tastes actually much lighter than a sponge cake. Some of you might know that Marcel Proust refers to the Madeleine when referring to involuntary memory in the novel In Search of Lost Time. I think it's also known as remembrance of things past. So in French, à la recherche du temps perdu. So I will actually read the passage for you, and I had to print it out because I unfortunately only own the French version of the book. So this is the passage. You can put them on. No sooner had the warm liquid mixed with the crumbs touched my palate than a shudder ran through me, and I stopped, intent upon the extraordinary thing that was happening to me. An exquisite pleasure had invited my senses, something isolated, detached, with no suggestion of its origin, and at once the vicissitudes of life had become indifferent to me. Its disaster innocuous, its brevity illusory, this new sensation having had on me the effect which love had, of filling me with a precious essence. Or rather, this essence was not in me, it was me. Whence did it come? What did it mean? How could I seize and apprehend it? And suddenly the memory relieved itself. The taste was that of a little piece of Madeleine, which on Sunday mornings at Combray, because on those mornings I did not go out before Mass, when I went to say good morning to her in her bedroom, my Aunt Leonie used to give me, dipping in first in her own cup of tea or tisane. And the sight of the little Madeleine had recalled nothing to mind before I tasted it, and all from my cup of tea. So that's the passage anyway. So he ate well. So it seems that shell-like cakes were made from the Middle Ages actually, as the shell, or rather the scallop, represented a pilgrimage. So it was baked to feed the pilgrims on their way to Compostela, and legend has it that a girl named Madeleine gave the cake to the pilgrims, which is why they named it after her. But there is another legend which is more likely, I guess. Others says that the Madeleine was born in 1755 when Stanislas, a Duke of Lorraine and King of Poland, organized a party in his castle in Commercy. Unfortunately, during dinner, he learns that there was some kind of fight between his cook and his intendant, which resulted in the cook quitting right during dinner, which basically meant that there would be no dessert. What a catastrophe. So thankfully, a maid named Madeleine Pommier sort of improvises and saves the day with little egg cakes, which are served for dessert. Stanislas is absolutely thrilled and decides to name the pastry after the maid, and sends some of the cakes to his daughter Marie, who was wife of Louis V in Versailles, King Louis V. So anyway, soon after, the cake became very popular. But now we'll go to my brother's favorite cake, which is called le paris-brest.
What a beautiful story.
Yeah, actually I didn't know the story of that cake, and my brother told me where it came from. I had
It's my
no
favorite.
idea. It's your favorite cake?
Yes.
There.
the sun of my life.
So this is another French delicacy made of choux pastry and stuffed with praline cream.
Thank you.
Everything basically starts in 1891 when Pierre Giffard, who was chief editor of the Petit Journal, wrote an article called La course du Petit Journal de Paris-Brest et retour, 1200 km. So it means race from Paris to Brest and back, 1200 kilometers. He organizes the first ever bicycle race, paris-brest, Paris, because he wishes to popularize cycling. And this race actually became the ancestor of the Tour de France. So in 1910, a pâtissier from Maison Lafitte named Louis Durand invents this pastry to commemorate the Paris-Brest Paris bicycle race, which is why the cake is shaped, or was shaped, now you can't really see, but it is shaped as a wheel. So the pastry was originally stuffed with buttercream or muslin cream, but now it's pastry cream, I think. Yep. So yeah, that is the Paris-Brest, shaped like a wheel. The next pastry which I will talk about is le mille-feuille.
Oh, very beautiful.
Okay, so le mille-feuille. So this is a vanilla or custard slice, and it is made up of three, I don't know if you can see, three, it can be made up to six layers of puff pastry, alternating with 2 layers of cream pastry. So yeah, so basically, and the top layer is glazed with sugar. So there are many legends surrounding the origin of the mille-feuille. C'est mieux de poser sur le lit. So anyway, so the truth is that it was invented, or what I think is the truth, is it was invented in 1867 by the Pâtisserie Seugnot in Paris, and it became so successful that the month of September became the mille-feuille month. And that is true until today. So during the month of September, all pâtissiers revisit the pastry. So mille-feuille means, in English and French, it means 1,000 sheets, which is quite, it is quite obvious why the pastry would be called like that. And the word mille-feuille entered the dictionary in 1906. And now, finally, the last pastry is la religieuse.
Oh, she looks delicious.
Okay, so this is a pastry made of 2 choux, as you can see, choux pastry buns filled with pastry cream, usually chocolate or mocha flavored, but I couldn't find one today because this is Monday and like all bakeries are basically closed, so the only one I could find was, I think it's vanilla flavored, but usually it's supposed to be chocolate or mocha, so it's usually black, not white. But anyway, yes, so each bun is glazed in ganache, and then it joined together with this buttercream frosting. So yeah, actually the name religieuse means nun in French, nun. So the religieuse or the nun was born in 1855 as it was created by the pâtissier Frascati in Paris, and at the time the religieuse was a lot different to what it is today. So it used to be actually just a simple square of choux pastry filled with pastry cream and garnished with whipped cream. And 50 years later, the religieuse became more circular, and another little choux bun was added to the top. So we don't really know why it is called the nun actually, but maybe it was because as I told you, it used to be it's generally black, so it was maybe because of its black glaze reminded of the nun's dresses. But that is just a theory. We actually do not know why it's called a religieuse. So yeah, so that's it for this video. I hope you guys liked it. I am sure that my brother did like it because he had to eat a lot of pastries for that video, and I hope that he won't be too sick after that, but you know, anything for YouTube. But yeah, anyway, I hope that you guys are well relaxed, that you're not too hungry from watching the video, and that next time you want to buy some French pastry, then you'll know a little bit more about them. Yeah. Anyway, good night. So, tu dis au revoir.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.